you're back.
What are your initial thoughts on that one again?
Look, that was really important for us. And that's all we were worried about, even leading into the game, was just around keeping on building what we'd been doing all season and keeping our eye on the ball for what the opportunity was, and that was to win that game. Regardless of what the opposition were, it was about us needing to win.
Were you aware going into the game that you could not get a top 4 spot given the result of that?
No, we weren't, but a couple of results went the right way, I think. But I don't know. I don't even know if we actually are locked in.
Looks like you are, yeah. Is that how big
If we are, that's a great result for these boys who they've worked so damn hard for a long period of time.
Is that just about the most eventful showdown you've coached? Yeah.
I've been in a few, and there've been some big moments, good and bad, and there've been big moments. But yeah, it was a proper showdown. It was on.
Dan's incident is the obvious moment in the game. How did you see it first?
Oh no, I think to comment on that would be unfair. I mean, thoughts Isaac first and foremost, and hopefully he's okay. Dan's a very, very fair footballer. Split-second decisions, unfortunately, are right or wrong. We'll let the people make those decisions that need to make those decisions.
Was that the most fiery showdown that you've seen in a while? Just throughout, there was a couple of skirmishes, melees, whatever you call it.
You test my memory because I've been doing it for a while, so I'm not sure whether there was been bigger or a little bit more spicy. But I think they normally got a bit of spice in them. I think the reality is for us, as I keep saying, we just need to focus on what we had to do. I think it was really clear to our players before the game. We are here to play our brand of football, to win this game. I don't care about anything else. I just want to care about us.
There must be some satisfaction, though, given you haven't won in the last 3 games against the Crows. It's always, against fierce rivals, your fans make such a big target.
I'll bore you. It's satisfying because it puts us in a really good position for a season that we've worked damn hard for. And in an up and down season, we find ourselves in a reasonable position, but we've got to win again next week.
What did you say at 3/4 time? I felt like your ability to settle after that incident was critical. How much is that down to your on-field leaders and your ability to...
100%. It's about the young leadership group that we've got out there, and Connor and Zach particularly, and then Drew is out there playing and doing his stuff as well. And even Dan, he knew, and we just had to play footy, and we did. We went back and we played footy. I thought we controlled what we could control about everything.
What was it like out there after that moment, Zach, given Southern Cheek was obviously on and you guys did look like you settled better? How was it to be out there at the time?
Yeah, it was obviously pretty hostile. Showdowns are pretty hostile though, so just trying to create some calmness in a pretty chaotic situation. So I was really proud of the boys, how they handled it, and we stuck to our task, and that was to win the game of footy and put ourselves in a good position. And I thought we were able to stay calm and execute.
Did you feel you had to say? Did you say something to Dan? Was it important to get around the other player in those incidents as well?
Yeah, most definitely. My thoughts are with Isaac. Obviously, you don't want to see any play obviously deal with that. So I hope he's going okay. But Dan's a valued team member, and I love playing with him. And if that was Dan or any other of my teammates, I'd throw my arms around him and have his back. And I thought we really rallied behind him and made him feel pretty comfortable out there in probably a tough situation for him.
How's Dan going right now? How is Dan going right now?
Yeah, I think once he calms, once he cools down, and that there'll be a moment. Look, he's a really fair player. He's an outstanding person. Anyone who's been involved in those type of situations, I'm sure. I spoke to Sam before, Sam Powell-Pepper. That they know what's going on, and they feel the consequence of what's happened. And so he'll, as I said, he'll wait and see what's delivered to him, and he'll move on from there. He's a really, really good person. I can't say it enough, and I know that people will sit there and go, I don't care whether he's really... I do. I care about him. He's a fantastic bloke.
And how do you sum up, I guess, Zach's game? Was it the record for disposals in a showdown?
Could have been better.
Every kick stroke?
Yeah, I was pretty scrappy. A few turnovers in there, so always something to get better at.
He's a bloody good player, and I love people lifting when they have to lift, and he done it tonight. So he thoroughly deserves to be wearing that medal, and so if that's your first medal, yeah. So hopefully it's not the last one.
What does it mean to you, Zach?
The win means much more. I feel like obviously losing the last couple as a team, just really wanted to win with my mates and celebrate it, and most of all just keep our season rolling. And yeah, we've been in some good form, so just wanted to keep it rolling and look forward to the next few weeks.
What's it been like Jordan Sweet now in the ruck as opposed to Ivan, who's obviously come in instrumental for it? What's it been like having him instead?
Yeah, they've both been good for us throughout different parts of the year, and Ivan's just working his way back in to footy now and getting a few games under his belt. But yeah, since Big Sweety's come in, and he's a competitive beast and really love his work in there. Gets his hand on a few as well, but I think I just like his attitude and his follow-up and willing to compete. Yeah, starting to form a good few relationships with a few ruckmen that we've probably lacked over the last few years.
Who's in the was tonight in Sweden? I mean, like his elbow popped out. Yeah. It's like what they had a tie or something. Yeah, it's he kind of battled through them, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Contact game. It happens. You know, and ruckman. None of us would be a ruckman, I'm sure, but they should be respected because of what they have to put up with. But he was big for us tonight. Now Riley's always played well against us.
Yes, given I don't think you key forwards kick the goal, but kick a winning score. I mean, how big is that on? I guess guys like Jason and midfield. Willie gets off the leash eventually. Like other guys that pop up when the top guys aren't getting it done.
We knew we were going to have to absorb a fair bit tonight, and that was our emotional stuff as far as putting inside our forward 50 against the Crows, because they do push a lot of numbers back and they defend really hard. I think importantly we just had to kick a score. We didn't mind which way we kicked the score, but we had to kick a score. I think the more pleasing part, I think we held them to 16 points in the second half. I think we have been in really, really strong shape behind the ball and at the ball to keep pressure on teams, and that's why you win, not because you kicked 80. It's more about what we were able to restrict.
Do you get fired up to that when you see a Crows player run to the crowd and show his teeth and carry on the way that Josh does? Is that, as a playing group, does that fire you up when you see the opposition carrying on?
Not really, to be honest. It fires me up when my own teammates kick goals and get around their own teammates and celebrate as a group. That fires me up. And I think our mantra's sort of been this week. It was about us and our journey and what we're trying to achieve, and I feel like we handled their moments pretty well tonight.
So that theatre, did you address that as a leadership group, almost to say we're not going to buy into that, we're just going to focus on our internal stuff? Is that spoken about?
We addressed it as it's about us and our journey and what we want to achieve this year. And I thought that's what we spread throughout the group, and the group were able to maintain that and handle the high pressure moments tonight really well.
The theatre's okay. But the reality is for us, we had to stay inside the fence. We didn't need to worry about anything else. And I think our whole week was really, really disciplined around just sticking to what we have done really well. We've been in pretty solid form, and we've had to work really hard to get some wins, and tonight was going to be no different. Didn't matter what else had gone on. We spent our whole week worrying about the opposition's quality and what we needed to do to blunt that, and we did it pretty well.
How far does that make you your leaders then, Ken? They're a pretty young group to be able to do that.
Yeah, really proud of them, but that's why they're our young leaders, and they've had a great year, in a new role, but they've been supported really well. I mean, Darcy was really strong for us tonight, Ollie really strong for us tonight, Charlie, Trav, those mature blokes that have been around for a long time. These boys learn lots from them, not just this year, in the previous few years too. They've helped them become good young leaders, and they still help them today to become better leaders.
So Ken, on that big picture, what's this lead in telling you about what they're capable in September? The only comparable one is 20, where you have heap of W's towards the end. The others you're not as successful towards the end. Than last year. So where do you feel this preparation is taking?
Lots of things going through my mind when you ask that type of question, because lots of things are around availability, how we've looked after the group through the year with our conditioning. Our medical team looked after them really well to get them in pretty good shape. We know we're going to earn our right to the end, and in really quite positive way. And I think that's really important for the boys. They'll get some belief that but everyone knows this. Anyone can beat anyone in this competition, but you've got to play the long parts of the game for the longest, and that's when you'll get bigger wins.
So on that point, do you feel that these tougher games, the demanding finishes, are going to make you stronger above the shoulders? Because you know what September's about. You've lived it long enough. But is this just the perfect hard lead-in to sort of simulate what September could be like for you?
It definitely adds to it and helps you build foundations and belief amongst the group. But I feel like they've all been pretty tough since round 12 this year. The competition's been as even, as close as ever, and every game there's something right on it, or you've got to play well to keep things ticking. So I feel like in that fact it's been like that for half the year, and like you said, I think it holds us in good stead moving forward.
How's Todd going with as he Todd? How's he going to...
Yeah, I think he's going in the right direction with the need to, but again, we won't make, he'll get everything. I mean, Todd's history will be very, very careful with how that looks. But I've got, as I've said this before, we've got great doctors. They'll make all the right decisions along with the protocols that every team faces. We'll look after Todd and make sure if he's available that he's looked after perfectly well before we make that decision.
The three finals bye, did that give you, I guess, opportunity to be even, as you said, cautious, given his history, you have an extra kind of week to play with?
Yeah. Look, I don't know tonight. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Wait and see where that ends up.
You expect to get Rich back next week?
Again, wait and see what next week. He was running well this week, moving well. Got a couple of boxes to still tick off. If he's available, I think we'd be playing him. He's a pretty good player.
Lockie Jones was in the walls tonight, but was it Achilles in the end, was it?
Yeah, it was Achilles at the end. He got the motion pushed under the ball and landed. And so we did the scat tests and stuff that had to be done. He passed all those things really well, but his Achilles was grumbling before that, so he was half hobbling, and we were talking about him a little bit. Should we sub him or not sub him? And then he went back on after he'd sat for 15 minutes. You have to sit for, so cooled him down a bit too much, to be honest. And then we basically seen him 5 minutes into the third quarter. We wasn't running very well.
Ken, what's it going to do for Jace Berger and his belief and his understanding of where he belongs in this game now?
He's had great year. He's had a really, really big year for us, Jace. He's a bloody good young player who's, I've really enjoyed the way Josh has coached him and his approach to everything. He's wanting to be better all the time, and he's worked really hard and, played wing the whole season, and he's really, really valuable to us.
Did you see that coming this year? I mean, I know he's spoken a little bit how he's, approaches say he doesn't like he cares enough sometimes or that kind of thing. Yeah,
They don't know him. No, we were hopeful. I mean, he's always showed good talent. He played in his first year. He's not very big now, but he was skinnier then. So he's played in his first year and played really well. He's a pretty talented young player. People should be pretty proud of him.
Can you give us any insight to what you and Anthony spoke about as you walked up?
Yeah, I just passed on my best to Isaac basically, and the game, and we talk a bit, so it's not that big a deal. I mean, I understand Nixie's season, I understand our season, but I just wanted to pass on our best. Done.